Welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be doing AFC North draft grades, and we're going to be starting with the Bengals, whose draft needs coming in were linebacker, strong safety, free safety, cornerback, running back. So it's pretty much you got to rebuild and get people at every level of the defense and get somebody to fill a running back spot for you. Now, talking about having to fill holes in that defense, they did so with the first three picks. At pick 28, they get Miles Murphy out of Clemson, defensive end. We'll see what he can shape up to, but adding depth to what they have there is good. Getting a young guy to develop behind what they have there is good. I think that was a good pickup for them in the first round. In the second round, they get cornerback DJ Turner coming out of Michigan. Again, another good pickup. They had to fill a hole in the secondary and start to get some depth there in the secondary. I think that's a good pickup for them. And then in the third round, safety out of Alabama, Jordan Battle. I think there's really good value with that pick, getting him at 95th overall. I think they're going to be really happy with what they're able to shape him into in their system. So I think that's a really good pickup, 95 overall for them. Again, filling holes in the defense. They had to rebuild the defense. They started with that in the first three rounds. I think that was really good. Then they get some depth at wide receiver, Charlie Jones coming out of Purdue in the fourth round. They fill that running back hole in the fifth round with Chase Brown coming out of Illinois. They get another receiver in the sixth. They get a punter in the sixth round, and then they continue to fill secondary spots, getting cornerback DJ Ivey from Miami of Florida in the seventh round. So again, they were able to get much needed depth in some places, adding depth at wide receiver, adding the depth piece at running back. They were able to get all the defensive pieces that they needed to be able to start filling holes in this roster. For me, the Bengals get an A for the 2023 draft. And moving on to the Ravens needs coming into the draft with wide receiver, defensive line, and cornerback. You look at what the Ravens have done. They were able to sign Lamar. They were able to sign Odell Beckham Jr. Then they went and they drafted Zay Flowers with the 22nd overall pick in the first round. Wide receiver coming out of Boston College. I think what they've done before the draft, what they were able to do early on in this draft, drafting Zay Flowers, exactly what you need to do. Go get weapons to put around Lamar. You need to make this offense more dangerous. They've been able to do that. Drafting Zay Flowers, exactly what you needed to do. At the pick that they had, I think this is a weapon that they need. This is the weapon that's really going to open up the offense. You have him. You have Odell Beckham Jr., you have Rashad Bateman. So I think this offense, in the matter of the last month, has gotten a lot more dangerous. So I love what they did there. And then addressing their defensive needs. They go in round 3, round 4, round 5, go linebacker, defensive end, cornerback. And I really like the cornerback they got in the 5th round. I think he can be really effective even early on. Coming out of Stanford, Caillou Blue Kelly, I think this guy has the physical makeup to be very good. And what we know about Baltimore, generally have a really good defense, especially in the secondary. So I think in the future, they're going to be really happy with what they're able to get from their 5th round pick. So I like what they were able to do there. I like that they were able to draft Andrew Voorhees in the 7th round. Coming out of USC, offensive guard. He tore his ACL at the combine, but he still put up 38 reps on the bench press. He could be an anchor on the O-line for years to come. So I think they're going to be really happy with the value that they get out of that pick. They're not going to have him for 2023, but having him in the future is going to be really important. So what they've been able to do in the offseason, what they were able to do in this draft, the Ravens get a grade of A for me for the 2023 draft. Now, if you go take a look at what the Steelers were able to do in this draft, their team needs coming in were wide receiver, offensive line, cornerback, linebacker. Probably the biggest of them was probably offensive line, and they took care of that with their first pick, getting offensive tackle Broderick Jones coming out of Georgia. This guy, pretty much unanimously, everybody knows he's going to be a stud. Like, he's a house of a human. He's very good in college. He's going to be very good in the NFL. This is a very solid pickup and somebody that they needed to draft to protect Kenny Pickett for years to come. In the 2nd round, they go interior defensive line. Keanu Benton coming out of Wisconsin, another really solid pickup for them. 3rd round, tight end Darnell Washington, another freaking nature coming out of Georgia. This guy's like 6'7", 260, but can fly. He's huge. He's strong. This dude is a monster. I don't know how he goes in the third round. I know he's got some rough edges, but I mean, if I was an NFL GM, I would have been taking this guy in the first or second round. What a freaking nature. So a wonderful pick for the Steelers here. And then in the fourth round, they get another really good pick, edge rusher Nick Herbig, to add to that defensive front. And this is kind of, spoiling themselves with this pick. They have TJ Watt, they have Larry Ogunjobi, they have Alex Highsmith. So they're adding this guy for depth, but it's definitely going to help. This is a really good player. His brother is on the team. I think this is going to be a really good pickup for them. You look at the first 4 picks for the Steelers could all be staples for them for the next 5 to 10 years. And the question is, have the Steelers done enough to help Kenny Pickett and company compete for an AFC North title? I think that might be a stretch right now, and we'll look deeper into that for sure when we do division debates here in a couple months. But I think the Steelers nailed this draft. I think what they've done over the last couple of years is really good. I think the new regime here for the Steelers in their front office did a really good job attacking this draft. They get an A grade for me for the 2023 NFL draft. We're going to finish up the AFC North with the Browns, who coming in this draft needed defensive line, linebacker, cornerback, and running back. Because of the Deshaun Watson trade, they didn't have picks in either of the first 2 rounds this year. So with their first pick, 74 overall, they go wide receiver Cedric Tillman coming out of Tennessee. That's one of their biggest needs. They went and filled that hole. Then they went and addressed the hole that they needed to fill in the interior defensive line with Siaka Ika coming out of Baylor. And in the 4th round, they got what I think is pretty damn good value on a tackle for them. Dawan Jones coming out of Ohio State. I thought this guy would go much higher, 2nd round at the latest. He ends up slipping all the way to the 4th round. I'll be interested to see why that happened. But I think this is a guy that is going to be really good in the NFL. And I think getting him in the 4th round is really good value for them. They end up finishing up this draft. They go edge rusher in the 4th round. They draft quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson in the 5th round, and then finish it off by going cornerback in the 5th round, center in the 6th round. So getting depth, guys that they hope that can start for them in the future. Overall, I think they got pretty good value on guys in the 3rd and 4th round. They just didn't have much that they were able to do in the first couple of rounds. So they weren't able to get that high-end talent in this draft. They come into with 8 picks, leave with 7 players. For me, the Browns get a draft grade of B for a 2023 draft. Let me know what you think each one of these teams should have gotten a grade of for their respective drafts in the comments. Don't forget to keep coming back for more off-season content every day. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you for the next video.